This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by Rebecca. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 and get exclusive rewards at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. All right, and then we'll file, save project as. What can I do for you, pal? I'm recording right now. What can I do for you?
Oh, I didn't know. Do you want me to close the door?
That's fine, yeah. But did you need something?
No. Do you want me to pick this up too?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I just didn't know what you were doing.
That's fine. I just thought you needed something. Thank you. Oh, I didn't put a sponsor in. Today's Thursday. Episode 168 of Switchcraft is brought to you by OP Seats. Get your awesome gaming chair by heading on over to runjumpstomp.com/OPSeat. Once you get there, you can get fantastic gaming chairs that support you, and your purchase directly supports the stream. So again, it's very distracting because I can see myself with words all over my face, and it's very distracting. So let me do that again. Let me just, I'm gonna add that in there instead of trying to do it live. New sponsorship. OP Seat. Create sponsor. And then we go back to preview. I can close that. Yeah, that's better. Episode 168 of Switchcraft is brought to you by OP Seat. Head over to runjumpstomp.com/OBSeat to directly support the show and get a fantastic gaming chair that can directly support you. I'm sitting in one right now, and it feels great. I'm a big fan of OP Seats. They got great lumbar support, so make sure that you go to runjumpstomp.com/OPSeat. All right, and we'll name that sponsor. And we'll name that patron. And we'll, what did I do? Save. See you later, Harvey P. Thanks again, man. All right. Switchcraft is normally recorded live 3 times a week on Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and on Saturday at whatever time I can get to it. If you want to hang out live, then do so at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. And we have run into all kinds of issues with the live stream today. When I was driving to work this morning, I saw a wire hanging down, and sure enough, when what happened is somebody hit that wire and they knocked it down, and I guess they sent somebody out to fix it, but they didn't do a good job apparently, because my internet is really, really terrible today. So rather than not have a live stream at all, I decided what I'll do instead is set up my phone on a tripod and record it that way. Now I'm also recording everything on my PC as well, and so if you're watching this after the fact, like on YouTube or something, the audio probably sounds fine, but the poor people who have to watch me live, it's probably not doing too good for them. And of course the colors all blown out and stuff for the live people because I'm using my phone on a tripod. But that's okay, because the show must go on. And you know who are the dedicated people who were able to hang out with me while I got everything fixed, because now it's all the way to 4 o'clock, so I'm an hour late. But we've got Kodiak Moonwolf is here, Vaxxer's here, Dark Robot 78, Aerslia is here, Harvey P 27, and Link 31254. I really appreciate the fact that you guys sat through all of the ping-ponging back and forth of trying to get this working. But guess what? We're going to go ahead and get started on the show. So a big thanks to those people who hang out with me today. All right, we got that recorded. That's live, I'll call it. And I didn't mention any of the ways that people can get a hold of me, so remind me at the end of the show to do that, please. And if I ever have to do this again, I'm going to make sure that my camera is facing away from me so I can't see it. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. So I've talked about this on the show before, and the thing that I want to talk about now again is charging your Switch with a battery. And there's reasons why you would want to do this. Maybe you are out and about, and maybe you don't have, maybe you don't want to unhook the charger from the back of your Nintendo Switch. Maybe you want to be able to recharge it when you are not somewhere where you can plug it in. All of those are valid reasons why you might want to have a battery, a backup battery to charge your Switch. Well, recently, I think it was Nico that's NYKO, has like a third-party dock. And in the third-party dock, people were hooking up their Switches to it, and it was bricking their Switches. Or at least that's what a lot of people are assuming, is that it was the fault of the third-party dock. And Nintendo has posted a little bit of information about when is it okay to charge the Switch using a mobile battery. This is what they say. They say when the USB terminal on the mobile battery side is Type A, that's a standard USB, the cable used for connection with the main unit is Joy-Con charging grip or USB charging cable. Please use the USB charging cable HAC010. So they're saying please use the charging cable that came with the Switch. Okay, that's good advice. Okay, you want to use what came with the Switch. HAC010 can also be purchased at Nintendo Parts sales. And they're just talking about the wire. They're talking about the wire there, I believe. They then said, when connecting with a commercially available USB cable, please use the cable with a 56K register resistance mounted. So what does that mean? Well, it means that there are some cables out there, usually the super cheap ones that you can buy at the dollar store or at a gas station or something like that. And they might not have a resistor in the cable. And that resistor keeps too much power, if I'm understanding this correctly. It's been a long time since I've done anything with any real kind of stuff with electronics. But this resistor keeps too much power from going into the Switch at one time. Because if too much power goes into the Switch, now we've got a real issue. So you want to make sure that whatever wire you use has a 56K register resistance built in. Because that's not in the Switch, that's in the wire. Does this mean that you can't use those other wires? No, but you're being really, really risky. Now, I know that when you go to buy one of these wires from the dollar store, chances are it's not going to say whether or not it's got a 56K register resistance mounted or not. So my advice is to do some research before you end up bricking your Switch because you wanted to save a few bucks at buying a cheap wire. So make sure that you find out if the wire that you are going to be using on your Switch has 56K on it. And then if it does, I would make sure that you put some tape on there or something to make sure that it has something labeled so you know this is the one that works with the Nintendo Switch best. All right, that's just a little PSA for people. I guess I'll just call it PSA. Save. So we've got a couple of games coming to the Switch that I'm actually really excited about. And for those of you watching the YouTube video, you're like, why is he going so fast? It's because I'm running late and I have things to do. So first off, Firewatch is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you've never played Firewatch, you are in for just an amazing treat. Firewatch is a great game. It's not something that I'm going to play again because I've already played it twice and I loved it both times. But Firewatch is this really cool game. It takes place in 1989, and you are this guy who, I won't say why, but he decides that he wants to go and work for the Forestry Service up on one of these fire towers. So you go up to the tower and you watch for fires, basically, and you're all by yourself for extended periods of time. And something happens, and I won't say what because I don't want to spoil anything about the game, but something happens, and it's incredibly interesting. Now, it's a really, really short game. I played through it, I'm going to say probably in about 3 to 4 hours. I'm not positive how long it took me because it was might have been 2 years ago. I could be wrong. Might have been 1 year ago. But I played through it pretty quickly. And it was so awesome that then I went and told my wife, and I said, honey, you've got to see this game. And I sat down and I played it again with her sitting next to me so she could see everything. And Firewatch is awesome. So I would very much, if you don't have this on, if you've never played this game before, then you're missing out. And pick this up when it comes out. Now, we don't know exactly when. It just says 2018. But pick up Firewatch because that game is one of my favorites from whatever year it came out. I can't remember. Oh, shoot. I'll just do another one. Now, the other game that I am... Oh, my goodness, Daz, thank you very much for the 100 bits, man. Have some bits for being a trooper. You've gone through more steps than I would have. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Now, speaking of awesome games that I am excited for coming to the Switch, we also have Don't Starve coming to the Switch. If you've not played Don't Starve, it's this really cool kind of top-down 2D survival game where when you... where you have to like gather some materials and then you can take them back to your base and craft stuff, kind of like Minecraft, except that at night you have to make sure that your campfire's lit to keep the monsters at bay. And I'll be honest, I haven't played too much of it, but what I did play I really enjoyed. And Don't Starve, it also has local multiplayer, at least the Better to, or not Better Together, the Don't Starve Together has local multiplayer. Now, there's no news on whether or not this version will have local multiplayer. There's no news on whether or not it will have online multiplayer, but I've heard very, very good things about Don't Starve, and what I've seen, I really enjoyed. So, Don't Starve is coming to Nintendo Switch, and it will include the Reign of Giants and the Shipwrecked DLC. Those will be included in it. So, that sounds pretty awesome. All right, we've got that done. File save project. Okay, so... Okay. You know, there's two videos that I want to make sure that people know about. The first is the Door to Door Geek tweeted this at me on Twitter, and he said, make sure that you check out this game. And I clicked on it, and I was like, wow, I was really impressed at what it looked like. And it is Skies of Fury Deluxe, or DX. I assume DX means Deluxe. And the thing about it is, this is a genre that is very underrepresented, not just on the Nintendo Switch, but gaming in general. This is not a style of game that we usually see. What we usually see is the same old stuff. And this game, Skies of Fury, is a dogfighting game set in World War I. So I am really looking forward to checking this game out. I got a review code earlier today. I haven't had a chance to try it at all, but look forward to seeing a first impressions video from me over on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/runjumpstomp. And if you go to the show notes, there's a link in the show notes to take you to see Skies of the video that unveils Skies of Fury DX. Couple of cool things about it. It's got local multiplayer, so up to 4 people split screen multiplayer, and it looks really fun. It also has like a deathmatch mode, so I assume that that's online multiplayer as well. And overall, I think it looks good. They say that the single player game has like over 100 missions. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking out Skies of Fury Deluxe. Another video that you should check out while you're at YouTube anyway is another one of my videos, and that is the latest NES Archive video. The NES Archive is this project that I'm working on where I'm going through all of the North American Nintendo games that that have come out since the original NES. And so I'm going through all of those NES games that came out on the NES, only in North America. And I've made it through all of the launch games, and now I've got one video for all of the games that came out in June of 1986. Now, the reason I lumped them all in together is because these games are the how do I want to say it? They're the arcade ports of the Donkey Kong games. They're the arcade ports of the Popeye games. So there's a lot of fun to be had there, and it's a pretty long video. I think it's like 25 minutes or so. It's about the same length as my Super Mario Brothers video, but I had a lot of fun researching it. So make sure that you check out the NES Archive. There we go. Hey Josh, what's up, man? Yeah, my internet is not working the right way. I've got no upload speed on my computer, so I'm uploading via my phone and I'm recording locally. So save. Okay. Well, if you enjoy Mario Odyssey, we're gonna get some more stuff. Nintendo has officially posted. It's in Japanese, so I had to use like the auto translate feature in order to figure out exactly what they said. But they said on here, I will continue to update such new treasure photos and special costumes regularly, so look forward to it. So that's whoever had written the article on and it's an official article at Nintendo's site, and you can follow the link in the show notes to check it out. But Mario is going to get more costumes. So we just recently got costumes, the Satellaview suit, as well as the, what's the other word that I was looking for? Oh, the baseball uniform. Of course, I forget the sports ball thing. So the Satellaview and the baseball uniform, those are two new costumes, and I guess we're going to be getting more in the future. We don't know what they are, except that we have seen some stuff data mined, and I talked about that on an old episode, so you can always go back and find out exactly what is it that we data mined to find out. But we're going to be getting more costumes. Now, here's my question to you. Is that enough to get you to go back to the game? Because for me, I mean, I play the game every once in a while, but I don't really care too much about going after those last couple of costumes or even the new costumes that are coming out. For me, I feel like the thing that would really bring me back to the game is a new world. And now they're not saying here that we're not going to get a new world. They're not saying that we're only going to be getting costumes. They're just saying we're going to be getting costumes. And I like that they're going to keep updating the game. I'm hoping for some paid DLC for Mario Odyssey, so that we can get back in there and maybe get like a Boo haunted house or some kind of new world that we haven't been in yet in the base game. So that's what would really draw me back to the game. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that just love getting the money through Balloon World and then spending it on costumes. I know my son has had a ball doing that. So I would say that this is some pretty good news. Yeah, I said sports ball. I didn't even mean to. All right. Okay. Got two release dates for you. The first is for Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. That is coming out on June 5th. I find this is actually pretty interesting because I don't really care about Shaq Fu. It's not a game that I planned on playing, but I know that there's a lot of people who've been waiting very patiently for this game. Not necessarily because they're huge fans of Shaq Fu, but because they are going to be getting this game for free. I can't remember the name of the company that is doing this. I think it's Airship. No. That's a different thing. I'm looking through to try and find out who is this. I'm clicking a link. Oh, I don't want that to play. Okay, Wired Productions, I guess. I'm not sure. That doesn't sound right. But whoever made NBA Playgrounds, it was a game that came out very, very early in the Nintendo Switch's cycle. Very early when the Switch first came out, basically, and they pretty much they didn't do a very good job on NBA Playgrounds. A lot of people did not enjoy that game, although there's some people out there that did. And I guess the Switch port was not great, and because of all the problems that people had with the game, it was really weird. They decided to say, well, hey, everybody, we're going to make a Shaq Fu game, and we're going to give it to all the people who bought NBA Playgrounds before a certain date for free. And, that's kind of like saying, hey, we're sorry, which I like that they did that. But I'm not looking forward to it. But I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to know, when am I getting my free game that you guys promised me months and months and months ago? I mean, by the time it comes out, it will have been over a year since they said that they were going to do it. So took you long enough, but at least they made good on their promise. Another game that we have a release date for finally. Now, this is one that I'm excited for. One that I didn't even like. I almost bought it multiple times on the PS4, but I really wanted to play it on the Switch, and that's Battle Chasers Night War. This is an RPG that combines like dungeon crawling and turn-based combat, and it's based on this comic book series that I hear is actually pretty good. I'm not really a comic book guy, but if I were, then Battle Chasers is something I would check out. And I know that there's a lot of people who have been very patiently waiting for THQ to get this game out on the Nintendo Switch, and it looks like it's coming. So there we go. I'm excited for that. So now, one thing that I'm not excited for, and one thing that I am. File, save. Last episode I talked about how we had on the back of a Super Nintendo, you could go on the back of a Super Nintendo. Let me start over. Last episode I talked about how there's a phone number on the back of a Super Nintendo, and this guy called up, and this woman helped him from Nintendo of America for like 10 minutes, and she helped him to try and fix a almost 30-year-old console. And I just said that was really good customer service, and I was impressed by Nintendo for doing that. Well, there's some more really good Nintendo customer service. This guy, and actually, let me look at my Switchcraft links, because somebody sent this to me, and I can't remember who it was, so I'm scrolling up to find it. Somebody sent it to me on the Discord, and now I can't remember who it was. Oh, no, it was an email. I'm going to have to start over because I did all that stupidness. Let me find the email. There we go. Sean. I'll just say Sean. I don't want to call him out. So last episode, I talked about how Nintendo has a phone number on the back of a Super Nintendo. And if there's something wrong with your Super Nintendo, you would look at the phone number on the back and call them up and they'd fix it. Well, somebody's Super Nintendo broke and they called the number expecting that it wouldn't actually work. And somebody at Nintendo of America picked up and tried to troubleshoot the problem with them. And I said that last episode, I was really impressed at the customer service from Nintendo. And actually, I have reason to talk about this too. I have had really good, what's the word I'm looking for? really good customer service from Nintendo. I had one of my Joy-Cons was not working, and I ended up sending it in, and they paid for the shipping and the overnight shipping, and basically the thing was out of my hand for like 3 days, and I had it back, and it was working. So that was pretty amazing. But we've got one more example of fantastic customer service from Nintendo. This was sent to me an email from Sean, and basically this guy had a 3DS, and his 3DS was not working. So he called up Nintendo and sent it to them. He said, "Can you please fix this?" Now, this is an original 3DS from like forever ago. I can't even remember when they started doing these. First gen 3DS. I actually have one of these. It's the same color. I got a blue one somewhere in the house. It doesn't work anymore because it got hit by a softball at a softball game. My wife had it in her pocket, and somebody hit the ball, and the ball hit her, and the 3DS took all the damage. Thank goodness. But that didn't work anymore after that. But the guy had a 3DS that wasn't working, and so he sent it into Nintendo, and they said, where is it here? It wouldn't turn on, so they had to replace the main circuit board. The battery needed to be swapped out. The handheld was in bad shape, and they also changed out the slide pad. That's the circle pad, which is the terrible. I hate the circle pad, and the face button. So they replaced all that stuff, and Nintendo only charged 67 cents to repair all of that stuff, and then $23 for labor, which is crazy. That is a very, very low price. You would expect to pay much more than that, but Nintendo seems to be the king of customer service. So it's one more, just kudos to Nintendo for doing it right. 67 cents to replace the circuit board, the battery, the D-pad, and the face buttons. Or not the D-pad, but the circle pad and the face buttons. That is a hell of a deal. And if my screen downstairs is just completely smashed, I'm considering calling up Nintendo and seeing if they'll fix it. I mean, because for $23, I don't know. I don't really want to play my 3DS, so probably not. But that's cool. That's cool that they did that. So good job, Nintendo. Yes, it did happen at a sports ball event. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. If there's a story that I missed or a topic that you want discussed, please let me know. And I forgot to say it at the beginning of the show, but there's a bunch of ways that you can get a hold of me. You can email me, runjumpstomp@gmail.com. You can call and leave a voicemail at 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786-5867. If you email me or call, make sure that you keep it short, and I can bring it on the show. You can tweet at me at RunJumpStomp on Twitter. You can join our Discord over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. And, of course, if you're looking for ways to support the show, the best way is to just keep listening, share the show with a friend, and head on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank-you. All of the links that you find there will directly support the show. And I just want to thank everybody for all the support that I've gotten for doing the show so far. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. And that's it for today. Make sure that you check out Tom Winter and Noteblock because their music is awesome, and you've heard it here on this show. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And stop recording.